Hello, this video is about talking to people in your life about your bariatric weight loss surgery, both pre-op and post-op. So communicating with others what you're going to be going through and what your life will be like leading up to and after surgery. Also, we'll be discussing handling objections and others' concerns and relationships in general related to your weight loss surgery. Specifically, I'm referring to gastric bypass or gastric sleeve. I will be having the gastric sleeve surgery. Those two surgeries I have the most information regarding, and you can pretty much use what I'm saying to talk about either surgery. So, you don't have to tell anybody anything initially. The first professional you'll be talking to is your primary care doctor. You really want their blessing because they'll have a bit of background information on you specifically, and they'll have information on the surgery to think about if you're even a reasonable candidate to begin with. After that, you'll get referred to a bariatric clinic, and you will work with that clinic for up to 6 months. In some cases, if you have to lose some weight before the surgery, it could be up to a year. So there are a lot of steps to go through before you have surgery. But thinking about what your life might be like leading up to surgery, the changes you're going to make, and how your life will be different after, you need to think about how to talk to others about your surgery. There are the must know, the maybe need to know, and others who will ask you questions. Okay, I'm back. I needed to change the angle a little bit. It was too intense just with this close-up of my head. Anyway, my name is Josie. I am a bariatric patient scheduled to have gastric sleeve surgery in probably about 2 months. So I've been through a lot of the pre-op stages, and something I believe is really important to think about is communicating with others about what your needs are now and what they will be in the future related to how your life is going to change due to the surgery. So after you've gotten approval from your blessing from your primary care doctor, and then you're talking to the bariatric clinic, you'll be given an overview of what that process is. You'll be making some dietary changes right away. You'll be talking about what your diet and nutritional needs will be after, and you'll start to lose weight. So you're going to work on an exercise program, and you'll be doing a lot of things. So you're really changing your lifestyle, really. And so I want you to think about what your lifestyle is like now, what your relationship to food is now, and how you interact with people, and how food comes into the environment with others, like how you celebrate, how you get together for holidays, what you do for fun, going out to restaurants, potlucks, things like that. Your eating behavior will change, and that may or may not change how you interact with others. So there are some people who really need to know what you're going through, and that may be your significant other, any family members in the house, anyone who's helping you recover, and anyone who is affected by your recovery. So maybe you're going to miss some time off of work or something like that. Again, some people don't need to know anything until you're closer to the time. But people will have questions, and people may have opinions about what you're doing. So it's a good opportunity to just think this through. So for me, the first person I told was my spouse, my husband, and immediately his concern was my safety. So I already had kind of that information in my back pocket. I mean, I told him I told him after my first appointment with my primary care doctor that I was considering this. And so in between the primary care doctor appointment and seeing the bariatric clinic, I had a conversation with my husband. His immediate concern was safety with the procedure. So I gave him the statistics that I became aware of, which I don't know if that reassured him much, but just along the way, I've provided more and more information. I talked about the health conditions that I have that could be positively impacted by that. Another concern would be for him was, well, what's it going to like when we make family meals? What's it going to be like at holiday time? What's it going to be like if we want to go out to dinner? So we've talked through that, and he's had an opportunity to see how my eating has changed throughout the process. So I don't sit and watch TV and eat snacks or eat ice cream before bed anymore. I don't drink alcohol anymore. There's actually another video I just recorded regarding giving up alcohol. So I don't drink alcohol anymore. So that's different in some social settings. And I'm trying to be more active. So think about who you spend time with and what activities you do. Now, who is going to be in your life helping you recover? So they might have to have some information about the surgery. Like, what's it going to, do you have children to take care of, or parents that you're taking care of, or a job you need to take a break from? Those might be individuals who might need to know something about what you're going through. I really want to reinforce that you are in control of the narrative and how you talk about your surgery. I've had mostly positive experiences talking with people in my life, and I've had a couple of negative experiences. And I think one topic that's worth talking about is the topic of boundaries, because if someone speaks to you in a disrespectful way about this, it's not the first time that they've done that, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So you might have someone in your life who is concerned that this is a drastic measure, and that either that it's a drastic measure or that you're taking the easy way out. And there's nothing easy about this, and you will find this out, that it's a long process. You meet with nutritional counseling, you'll have a psychological evaluation, you'll meet with a surgeon beforehand, you'll be required to change your diet beforehand, you'll be required to lose some weight beforehand. So, and it's usually like a 6-month process. So it's not a quick fix. And you also must demonstrate that you have tried to lose weight in the past by other means, through exercise and through different eating styles, that you've changed things about your eating and your exercise to try to lose weight before, and then they haven't succeeded. So it's really considered a chronic disease, your obesity, at this point, when you're considering bariatric surgery. So it's not a quick fix. So anyone who would say to you that it's a quick fix doesn't have all of the information, and I want you to reflect on how they speak to you in general. So another area that can be kind of tricky is how to talk to your kids about bariatric surgery. So I have a 13-year-old and a 5.5-year-old. So those are two very different conversations. I did have concerns about talking with my older daughter about it, considering that she's a middle schooler, a teenager, a girl in America. So how I phrased it was, I mentioned that I've been struggling with my weight for a long time, and that my body really hurts, that moving through space and moving through my day actually physically hurts me. It hurts my feet. I don't have as much energy as I would like to. It's harder to keep up with the kids. It's harder to be motivated to do fun outdoor recreational activities. And so how I explained it to her is that I have tried some other things to be healthier, and that my body has been really resistant. And my doctor and I had a conversation about it, and we're really taking our time considering it and going through the process very thoughtfully. And I explain what the procedure will look like. So a doctor will go in through my stomach and do 2 lines of staples and make an incision and pull out some of my stomach. And what that will do is that will make it so that I eat less, my body processes food differently, and that a significant amount of weight is going to come off of my body. And that what's most important to me is that I'm healthy and that I'm able to keep up with the kids and have fun with them. And I really tried to frame it as a healthy thing for me to do. I'm doing it for health reasons. Of course, I feel like I'm going to benefit from superficial cosmetic reasons. I'm going to be more comfortable in my clothes. I'll be more comfortable in a swimsuit. I don't feel ashamed of that. That's part of the reality, but I also don't want to put pressure on my daughter to feel like she has to meet some ideal. But anyway, it's also negative to be as overweight as I am, and I also want to tell her that my health is important to me, and then I'm going to do what I can to improve my health. How I'm going to tell my daughter, my younger daughter, my 5.5-year-old, she'll be probably 6 by the time I get the surgery, but my conversation with her will be very different. So I'm going to tell her probably a couple days before Mommy's going to have an operation. I'll talk about Doc McStuffins. I'll talk about how my feet hurt a lot and how my body kind of hurts, and my size impacts that. And I'm having a procedure, I'm having my stomach fixed, and I'm going to get smaller. And for me to be smaller, my body is going to be more comfortable and I'll be able to play more. So that's how I'm going to phrase that. And I'll wait until closer to the time. And now it's really up to you which friends you tell, right? And we have all levels of friendship, don't we? We have coworkers, we have parent friends if we're a parent. We have casual acquaintances, people we might recognize from our neighborhood, Facebook friends. I think it's wise to just think about who you want to tell and what the possible reactions could be. I would expect for most people that if you go for a long period of time without seeing someone and then they see you and you've lost 50, 100, 150 pounds, that they're going to be a little bit shocked, right? And they may be shocked in a pleasant way and say, oh my gosh, you look so good. And what I have heard before is that it can sting a little bit how crazy people go about telling you how good you look, because you're like, was I not valuable and attractive before? You know, did you not value who I was as a person before? It can hurt a little bit when over and over again you're hearing people freak out about how great you look. You might also hear a lot about like, what's your secret? What did you do? And we should think about different ways that you can respond to those questions. You don't have to tell everybody everything, right? Okay, so let's have some fun. Let's talk about some responses to comments that you might hear. Okay, so someone comes up to you and says, oh my gosh, you've lost so much weight. You look so good. What did you do? Oh my gosh, you must have done something. What did you do? You could say, well, I definitely eat a lot less than I used to. That's true, right? You're not lying. You're not leaving anything out. You eat a lot less than you used to. Okay. You could use humor. So if someone's like, what did you do? What's your secret? You can lean in and say, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. And then laugh it off. You could pretend like you got a buzz on your watch and you're distracted for a second, and then you can like go back to talking about them, ask them about their kids or something, right? Let's see. Another response could be, I've really been prioritizing my health lately. Maybe someone's genuinely interested. They're not judging you. They're not trying to be, they're not scandalized. They're just like, oh my gosh, you have lost a significant amount of weight. I really want to know what happened. What are you doing? You could say, if you really want to know, I'll tell you, but I have some pretty firm boundaries about how I'll let people respond to me. And then you can have a nice, thoughtful conversation if the environment and the friendship warrants it. You might also have someone in your life that you know who is struggling with their weight, and this could be a great option for them. But I think it's similar to if you see someone doing something wrong at the gym, do not help unless asked to help. Do not give out free advice. Speak when spoken to, okay? We don't need to offend people and tell them that they need to do things the way that we did. Okay, so I have had a couple of negative bits of feedback for opting for the surgery, and I'll share kind of vaguely or kind of summarize what those experiences were like. I did do another video in the past. It was my first YouTube video I recorded, and I have since deleted it because the comments that I made in that did not leave any room to be able to have some more dialogue with those individuals. I was just hurt and I was reactive, and I kind of talked about how I was offended by those comments and how I didn't think that they were justified, but I think I've had time to process it, and I've grown in maturity, and I believe I could have a better, more balanced conversation about it now. But I've had two parties basically say that maybe the doctors are all in this together and that it's a money-making opportunity, that I'm being exploited, that I'm not being given the healthiest option. If you answer the questions you're asked and that's not enough for the individual and they don't necessarily trust your judgment on it, this says more about them than it does about you. You're going to do your homework. You're going to lean on your medical team, and you're going to be very thoughtful about this process. You're also going to reflect on how your lifestyle is going to change. I think that that's really important to think about. What do you do for fun, and how are those environments going to change in the future if they are? What are some new things like you might like to pick up? Who do you want to spend time with, and what kinds of activities would you like to do? These are great opportunities to think about in the future. I hope that this video was helpful. If you are someone who's doing a search because of a loved one that you know is having the surgery and you're just kind of gathering information, the biggest piece of advice I could give to you is to just listen and be supportive. We all make choices on our own regarding our health, and we're adults here, right? So be respectful and listen. And if you have questions, then be willing to listen to the responses and be respectful. So anyway, check out the other videos that I have and leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and have a great day. Bye.